Hi there. So, you know that album I may be releasing, Educated, that's meant to come out this year? Yeah, that's not happening anymore. Hi there. If you don't know me, my name is Charlotte Blue Lennox. I'm a transgender singer-songwriter, and I've lived all around Scotland at this point in my life. And I've been working on this project called Educated, which is meant to relay the last kind of few years of my university life. But the production of this album has taken a turn. Let's just say that. Well, not even the production of the album, the production of my life has taken so many turns it's for the better and for the worse, but it's just a lot. So I suppose first thing I kind of want to talk about is my health. I had surgery recently, and at the time I didn't think it was such a big thing, but I got kind of explained to me that it was a surgery, and I was just like, oh god, yeah, so technically I've had surgery recently. It was nothing major, it was just getting a wisdom tooth removed, because basically my wisdom tooth came in impacted, and it came in rotten, and it was horrible, and I chipped it, and I had an exposed nerve, and I was in pain, could not talk. Horrible experience. Do not recommend. It wasn't like a normal wisdom tooth removal where they spot it and it's like, oh yeah, that will need removed. It was already at the point where the nerve was exposed and I just couldn't talk. And I was just like, sorry if I'm a bit all over the place with this video, but yeah, it was just a bit, and I remember I was talking to receptionists, and I missed the appointment for when I was going to get it removed, because the bus didn't show up. And what happened was the receptionist basically said, sorry, you're going to have to wait another day. And I just had to basically shout at the receptionist saying, I'm in physical pain, I can barely talk, I need this at least seen to today. So yeah, I've not had a good go around with that, and then I've been getting these awful dizzy spells recently. A doctor prescribed me something called corazine, which basically, I've had problems with my inner ears my whole life, and he gave me this drug that is meant to help clear up my inner ears. Hopefully it's been working a bit, but it's not working great. I'm still having dizzy spells. But the doctor did say that it could get worse before it gets better. So, I'm just trusting on that. I'm just trusting that. And then after that, I get one of the worst throat infections of my life. Yeah, no, this was scary. So I come out from my job on the Friday and I can barely breathe. But I'm not thinking much of it. I just go to bed and try to sleep it off. But then I wake up at 5:30 in the morning in pain, unable to breathe, and I'm breathing like this. And it was horrible, and I was crying, and I just couldn't go on. That's a lie. I could go on, so I went on to A&E because I couldn't breathe. So I get myself to A&E. At this point it's like 7 o'clock in the morning because buses in the city are horrible. So yeah, I'm finally at A&E. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. I do not want to be there, and I want to be able to breathe. And again, the receptionist is horrible to me and says, oh, is this an emergency? And I'm trying to say through tears and breathing that I can't breathe. I've been tackling a lot with that in my health, and I'm trying to take care of myself, but it's just one thing after another. But anyway, that infection I think has been solved. I was given antibiotics for it, and it was a really horrible infection, honestly. My gums were going over my wisdom teeth, and it hurt so much. So much. Honestly, see, still now, I can't even move my jaw all the way out. Like my jaw still hurts from that infection, and I think my throat still sounds a bit rough, but I'm trying my best. When you feel like crap and you can't breathe, it's making stuff you need to do go on hold, and you try your best and it doesn't work. In that sort of way, I've got so much paperwork to do, just in the forms of bureaucracy, just stuff I need to do. I had a conversation with one of the well-being advisors at my university, and what we're doing is, I've got a giant pile over here. You can't see it, it's off camera, but it's just a giant pile of all the stuff I need to do out with university context and out with music context. It's just life admin stuff, like getting seen by the NHS for gender incongruent stuff. So that's good. I mean, I suppose that's a positive thing in my life. Just why is it happening now? And then also there's stuff in that giant health pile to do with like my mouth and my teeth and infections and stuff, because I still currently don't have a dentist here, and I need a dentist clearly, because if I'm going through all these health problems, I especially with my mouth, need to see a dentist. There's also stuff with the disability department at my university that I need to do a bunch of stuff, and with that I was sorting out all the paperwork for it, and I took a photo of this because it just kind of broke my heart, in the sense, oh look, here's a collection of everything wrong with me. I've been dealing with a lot. I know I'm studying one of the kind of hardest subjects you can do in Scotland, but I'm trying my best. Oh God, I'm trying my best. And I think that's part of the reason why I wanted to make this video. Just to say to myself, you're doing well. You're going through a lot of stuff, but you are going to come out the other end. You're going to have to put some other things on hold first, okay? Okay, Charlotte, okay? Anyway, so, I mean, part of that is what this video is about, but part of it is just... I'm juggling a lot, and I want to talk to someone about it. Today's society isn't very talkative, so I might as well, talk my feelings out. That's kind of what I've been thinking. And also, it's kind of an update on this album that I'm making. It's getting delayed again. I really wanted my new album, Educate, to come out this year, but it's just not going to. If I'm dealing with all this health stuff, and I'm dealing with all this life admin stuff, and I'm also trying to do my job, it's not something that has to give, and it's going to be the music. And I don't personally mind that, just in the sense that I'm doing something a bit different with my music now. When I was studying at my university, doing my music degree, music felt a lot more like a business, and I had to do it the right way, if that makes sense. Not even the right way, but just the industry way. But that's never been the appeal of music for me. I've always found music helps a lot with my mental health, and it helps a lot with telling the stories that I want to tell about my life through song. That's always what music has been about for me, and it's a direction I've been taking this kind of album. Like, I've not planned any live gigs for this album. It's going to be kind of strictly digital. Maybe there'll be the odd busking session here and there, but I'm not putting the pressure on myself to perform when it comes to this type of music stuff. There's still a coherent story I want to tell with my music. It's just going to take a bit longer than anticipated. And this video is kind of accountability for that, because I already announced it, and part of the reason why I announced it before it was finished is so I could kind of kick my bum into gear and do it. But I wasn't expecting to have surgery. I wasn't expecting to have a throat infection that makes me unable to breathe. And I wasn't expecting to have dizzy spells. And my life timeline is just, something's got to give, and I'm sorry, it's the music. I have a lot going on in my life, but that's okay, because my music isn't the forefront of who I am anymore, but it also is. It's a huge part of my identity. It's always going to be. But yeah, like, I've just been dealing with a lot. Like, for example, I've got new glasses. These are pretty cool glasses. They're I've got a thing called visual stress, which basically means that dyslexia makes it hard for me to read. And I recently got these. These are like properly prescribed, and they help me read like tenfold, and it's brilliant. But like that, like, just for an example of all of the other stuff I'm trying to do, while also, because getting a diagnosis for this took about 3 weeks to a month, and that's like 3 weeks and a month of just talking to people and trying to get that done. It's really hard when you're trying to do a postgraduate degree and having health issues. That's just the type of stuff I mean, where it's just, I'm finding it really hard to cope. And the album is taking a delay on that, which is fine. But anyway, this video has been quite doom and gloom and sad, but I've got a positive thing to say. This album I've been working on for better part of 4 years. And the first song I wrote for the album, I'm going to release it. The first song I wrote on the album is called Lost Friends. It's been in the demo phase for years at this point, and I just thought, if I'm delaying this album, I'm at least going to release that song. So, yeah, there's a new single coming out, Lost Friends. It will be on the 7th of December, I suppose. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a very different sort of video I'll make on this channel, but I feel like it's still part of the story I want to tell with the release of this album, and that's kind of why I made this video. I made this video for a lot of reasons. Keep myself accountable, try not put pressure on myself, be honest with my fans, what's going on with me, trying to just justify to myself and be okay with the fact that I am ill. I am trying my best. And yeah, I'm just trying not to put pressure on myself. And I suppose that's what this video is. It's just to say to myself, it's okay. You're doing okay, Charlotte. You're trying your best. And that is honestly the only thing we can ever try in this life. We can only ever do our best. And you'll know if you're not doing your best. And that's when maybe you need to look inside and try and say, hey, I could maybe have done that better, but did I try my best at the time? That's the question you gotta ask yourself. Anyway, I'm gonna boost because this conversation has went on 30 minutes. You guys will be seeing an edited down version, but yeah, I've been waffling on, and wish me well, and enjoy Lost Friends when it comes out. Enjoy Educated when it comes out, which will be eventually. It will be within the year. It will, mark my words, Educated, when it releases, it will say 2026 underneath it on the year that it releases. The plan was for it to say 2025, but you know, things planned for my teeth to be removed. Woohoo. Anyway, I will see you later, and yeah, I'm gonna go. Bye bye. Enjoy my music. Bye.